Hello. How are we doing? How are we all doing this evening? Let's fucking go! Yeah, all right. I'm feeling that. Okay, hold on a moment. Let me double check a thing. Okay, how's everyone hanging? You going to get some monster waves down at the beach tonight? Oh, you know I am, bro. It's gonna be totally tubular. Then we're gonna go and ride our skateboards in the skate park. And no one's gonna tell us otherwise, man. And then we're gonna do other things that I assume people do in Southern California, where I've only been once in my entire life. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna do this. I'm gonna check to see if super chats are turned on. They are. Okay, cool. It's hanging a little to the left. Okay. How's the cavities? Oh, they're gone now, so that's plus. That's a good thing. Yeah, I had to get 3 cavities filled today. It wasn't fun, but the Novocaine has now worn off, and I just had dinner, and it feels all right for now. The thing is, whenever because I've had this done before where I had a lot of cavities filled a few years back, and it's not, like, it doesn't hurt when you get it done or, like, the day after, but, like, a week from now, it'll start to feel better, and then a week from now, it'll just start throbbing, and that probably won't stop for, like, another week or 2 or 3. It took a while the last time I had a lot of cavities drilled for them to finally relax. I mean, it was, yeah. Big sugar eater. No, not really. I don't know what the reason is. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just have shitty. Honestly, though, I've always had issues with my teeth ever since I was a little kid. Like really. Like there's always been issues with it. I think there's like a layer. I don't know if it's enamel. I think enamel's just what your tooth is made out of. Whatever. There's some kind of layer on the outside of your teeth that your teeth is supposed to, like, they're supposed to have. And I don't think I ever had that. So that's an issue. Orthodontically, like, if I ever find a picture of myself before I got my braces put in, I gotta show you that. You could drive a tractor trailer through the gap in my front teeth back then. I mean, I found an old picture of, this was years ago, I don't know where it is right now, but there was an old picture of me on my 13th birthday, and of course, it's my 13th birthday. I look like I'm still like an 8-year-old, but I'm like smiling in the picture, and like, this is like the gap in between my teeth. Like, it's bad. So thank God I live. You know, that was the thing. Like, I'm sitting there in the dentist chair getting my teeth drilled, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, this sucks. But you know what would have made it suck even more? If I was born in literally any other period of human history before now, that's what would have made it worse. If I was born 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, like, I wouldn't have any teeth. Like, that's like, all right, I have a toothache. All right, you have a toothache, don't you? All right, hold still. You know, it's just like, there you go. You still have a sore tooth? No, I guess we're good. All right, that'll be 2 cents. All right, have a good day. You know, that's how that goes. Did you know gaps were hereditary? No, I didn't know that, but my mom had really bad teeth too growing up, and like I said, like, my mom had like her orthodontic stuff in the 70s. And she had to wear like a giant metal contraption headset to sleep every night. She didn't have to wear it during the day, but at night she had to wear this ridiculous fucking thing on her head. And I'm like, that's not even that far long ago. That's only like 50 years ago. Not even that, really. So it's like, Jesus Christ, you know, this sucked. It really did. But like, man, we have modern anesthetic and Novocaine and tools that are designed to do this. And after hundreds of years of like trial and error, we know how teeth work. So I'm going to just say, yeah. Oh, Roger's streaming too. Hey, Roger, what's up, bro? How you doing? I have a school, and it's 11 p.m. for me. I have school. Well, go to bed. Go to bed. Early to bed, early to rise. I don't do that because I kind of wake up whenever I feel like it. But other than that, you guys, you can wake up early, go to school. Did you see the One Piece live action poster? Yes, I did. Let's take a gander at that. Why not? Let's see what we got. Yeah, sorry it's been a while since I've streamed. There's a couple of these that were retweeted. Inaki Godoy tweeted on his Twitter. I think there was another one, wasn't there? I don't know. Well, this is the first one I found. This is the one that I retweeted. He's like this one right here. So here we go. One Piece live action, and it looks pretty promising. I know it's just a poster, but you know, in terms of getting the poster, they got it nailed. All right, in terms of poster, 10 out of 10 would look at this poster again, and I am right now. So it's a pretty nice poster. There was another one. Hold on, let me check Inaki's Twitter, because he also had something I think he tweeted. What was it? No, was it? I thought there was two of these. I don't know. Could have sworn there was another one. Oh, here it is. Well, no, okay, no. I think this was the poster, and then the other one was like something on Netflix. Like if you log into Netflix, has another one. Here's one. Here's somebody that posted this other one. Yeah, live action anime is a cursed gem. You know, you're not wrong. So it's like, look at that one right there. Like somebody posted that. So you could kind of see it. It's kind of bad scale there. Let me see if I can blow that up a bit. Hold on, let me see if I can crop that. Yeah, I know, it's a cursed gem. There's been, okay, we can probably do this. We can probably name all the good live action anime adaptations on one hand. So what are the good ones, guys? What are the good ones? There's not very many. I'm going to throw out the Rurouni Kenshin live action, the one that Makenyu was in. That was a pretty solid one. I'm going to go live action Rurouni Kenshin for one. I liked the first live action Death Notes. I don't know if that's considered the best of all time. Oh, Full Metal Alchemist, screw you. No, I tried to watch that recently. I tried to watch the live action Full Metal. Oh god, I couldn't get through it. The Bleach one was decent. See, that's the thing. It's like you're aiming for decent, not good. And that's a sad thing where people have to like set the bar that low. Yeah, the live action Bleach was good. Alice in Borderland. I have not seen that one. But I trust you if you say it's good. Speed Racer, go! I love Speed Racer growing up. That might have actually have been like the first anime I think I ever might have watched, because I was a really little kid when Speed Racer was airing. I mean, this was before Pokemon. This was before Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably might have even been before I watched Dragon Ball Z or anything. And Paint has frozen. Why? Paint's gonna crash on me, really. Of all the... Really? I'm gonna have to Control-Alt-Delete Task Manager MS Paint. Are you kidding? Paint. Why? It's the simplest program. Why did you crash on me, Paint? I thought we had something going on, Paint. I thought we were special. All right, let's try this again. Speed Racer was my show. I loved Speed Racer growing up. I think I just loved all the different little gadgets in the car. You know, like, you know, I'm going to activate the jet booster, and now I'm going to turn it into an airplane, and now I'm going to activate the rockets and the oil slick. And I mean, just like, that's just a cool idea for a show. All right. Okay, there we go. Here's the poster. All right, this is a better version of it. So we got the Straw Hats. We got the Mary yelling in the background. We got a seagull. Maybe it's the News Coup bringing a little newspaper. We got the cast. We got Sanji, Nami, Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro all hanging out there. Costumes look good. It's looking pretty good, guys. So far, from these two promotional images, it's looking pretty good. I'm currently benching right now at the gym, and I can't listen to you while I'm working out. Perfect. I mean, you could listen to him. He's like, go, you got this. You got this. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. This works if you're working out or if you're giving birth to a baby. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Or I guess if you're pooping, too. Keep pushing. You can do it. I believe in you. Trust in yourself. Believe in your dreams. You can do it. Yeah, it works if you lift, if you're taking a shit, or if you're giving birth, okay? So, yeah. Dragon Ball is an alright live action. Okay, get out of the chat if you're talking about Dragon Ball Evolution. Get out of the trash. Get out of the trash. I don't know, man. Okay, it's been a day. Tomorrow, I want to do a video on the Gorosei again, this time talking about their individual abilities. how strong each of the Gorosei are. That's going to be tomorrow's project. I will probably be on a lot of painkillers while I do it, but that will be that. Thanks, Tech. Couldn't have shit without you. I'm glad you did it. Tekking eats babies. I just had some steak, which was really good. I had it medium rare. I followed a Josh Weissman recipe for the perfect steak. I don't know if it turned out if it was the perfect steak, but it tasted pretty damn good. Some of my taste buds might have still been numbed from the Novocaine, though. Because, you know, whenever you get Novocaine, you also it ends up getting on your tongue inevitably, and it tastes bitter as shit, and it kind of numbs your tongue a little bit, so it's going to take a while. Shout out from South Carolina. That's awesome. That's my second favorite Carolina. Just because my uncle lives in North Carolina, and I've been to North Carolina. I've been to South Carolina, too. Fun fact, I was actually conceived of in South Carolina, so that's a fun little Tekking fact for you. And it's still my second favorite Carolina. What's for dinner tonight? I just had steak and some corn. I had some caramelized onions and mushrooms with it. And some bread. It was fine. I wanted something that was kind of soft because my mouth is very sensitive. The one that was the biggest pain in the ass was my back molar right here. That was the one they had to work on for the longest, and it was annoying. And he kept drilling into it, and he's like, there's a little bit more than I thought. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. So, no, it's good. It's good, though. It's, I guess, all right for right now. That's what aspirin's for. Let's see. Add that to the Tekking wiki. Oh, me being conceived of in South Carolina. All right, cool. Yeah, add that to the Tekking wiki, sure. You guys need to write this down. Write that down! Write that down! Tekking was conceived of in South Carolina in July of 1992. Write this down! Write this down! Oh, hey, Luffy420. What painting do you want next? All right. If you're taking requests, which one did you do? What was the last one you did for me? Was it Yamato? No, it was. I think there was another one before Yamato. It was the Cross Guild. You did Kawamatsu, who's back there, and then Buggy, and then there was Crocodile, and then there was Mihawk. So, who else do I want painted? As long as you're doing requests. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. I don't even know if I want a One Piece character this time around. I'm thinking of what's a really badass character? You know what? This is going to be a little difficult. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, because there's a lot of intricacies with this character's like design and shit. But Jack the Ripper from Record of Ragnarok. If you could paint me Jack, that would be awesome. If you can't, that's fine. I know his hat has a lot of bullshit like gears and stuff on it. It's a difficult kind of character. But if you could draw Jack the Ripper, that shit would be awesome. And I will show that off. That will go on the wall. Something will go off the wall. I'll probably take off that Bleach poster, one of those posters up there above the stained glass Straw Hat logo. I'll take down one of those and I will put the Jack the Ripper one up there. Yeah, I can paint him. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I only watch the anime cause boobs. Which anime? There's a lot of anime that could apply to. The eggs are going to the Super Bowl. You mean the Eagles? Or I caught it. You deleted it, but I caught it. The eggs are going to the Super Bowl, guys. Eggs versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Eggs, eggs, eggs. Jack the Drought? No, this is a cooler Jack. I mean, not like Jack the Ripper was a cool guy. He was a piece of shit. But Jack the Ripper from Record of Ragnarok, though, he was a pretty cool guy. He fights cool. He has a British accent, which I guess Jack the Ripper actually. So here's the thing. Every time you mention Jack the Ripper, there's always somebody in the chat, and somebody will definitely do it now because I'm addressing it directly. Because I'll say something like, we don't know who Jack the Ripper is. There'll always be some guy in the chat that's like, actually, we do know who Jack the Ripper is. They found out his identity like years ago. And it's just like, no, we still don't know definitively who Jack the Ripper is. There are so many goddamn suspects. Every time somebody finds, like, we found a cloth with blood on it from 1888. We can scan this with modern technology. It was this guy, 100%. It's like, no, odds are we will probably never find out who Jack the Ripper is. And that's kind of the whole point. Even if you, okay, here's the thing. Even if they could find, like, some kind of evidence to point to one individual strongly, there's no way of knowing definitively. Everybody involved in that case is long dead. Every single person that was alive in 1888 is dead. All right? Every single person. There's not a single human being on this planet that's still alive. So there's just no way that we're ever going to know. Even if people are like, man, we're pretty damn sure it was this dude, we'll never know for certain. He got away with it. Actually, you know what? He might have not have gotten away with it. His name was probably Jack. Not necessarily. So the name Jack the Ripper, coincidentally, there were 2 letters. There was the Dear Boss letter, and then there was the From Hell letter. And I think one of those letters, I think it was the Dear Boss letter. I think that one is most likely written by the journalists of the day, because this was the first big case that the media sort of was like, hey, we can milk this and get we could sell a lot of newspapers with this shit. So I think it was one of the members of the media that actually forged a letter that was like, hey, I'm this Whitechapel murderer. I'm the Leather Apron. I'm the one going around slaughtering all these people. And he sent it to the newspaper. No, he sent it to the police station. So the police get this letter. And of course, this is in the 1880s. This is before modern, forensics existed. So you could just write all over. It doesn't matter if there's hair or blood or anything. You'd send it over. They can't check anything. So, and it was just like, oh my God, this is so terrifying. And then they printed the shit in the letter in the newspaper. And then there you go. And then there was the From Hell letter, which I believe is the one that is most likely from Jack the Ripper. But I think in the From Hell letter is when he uses Jack the Ripper. So it's like maybe Jack the Ripper was invented by the media, but the killer decided just to roll with it anyway because he liked the name. There's so many ideas, though. Let's see. There were probably a lot of serial killers who weren't even heard of who got away. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do you know how many unsolved... just pick one city. Just pick New York City. Do you know how many unsolved murders probably have been in New York City that they just got away with it and just nobody will ever know? There's a lot of theories about Jack, too. Like, maybe Jack got arrested for another charge. Maybe he got away, but he got arrested for something else and got thrown in jail anyway, and that's why the murder stopped. Maybe it wasn't for murder charges. Maybe it was something else. Maybe he was stealing something from something, or he broke another law and he got thrown in jail, and then boom. Maybe he moved out of the country and continued his actions elsewhere. Maybe he got sick and died. It was the Victorian era. You get sick and die, and that's it, man. So, yeah. Any thoughts on Vinland Saga Season 2? I just finished Episode 4. Really good. I actually really liked a lot of the extra stuff they added in Episode 4. I'm really digging Vinland Saga Season 2 right now. I think they're doing a great job with it. One episode of the dub is out. There's actually 2 different dubs. There's a Funimation dub, and then there's a dub that's for Netflix. I watched the Netflix one. I actually like the Netflix dub of it more. But in terms of just the original sub, I love it. And the opening is fire. I didn't care for it. It's one of those openings that I didn't care for at first, but you start listening to it a lot and it's like, oh my God, this fucking opening river is insanely good. If your name is Jack, you're automatically a badass. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. If your name is Jack, you kind of just won the name lottery. Something to note is Saturn didn't wear a bubble helmet, making the others even more difficult than normal celestial dragons. Yeah, that is interesting because they are the only celestial dragons we know of. They definitely don't have the same attitude as the Tenryubito that we've seen in the city, like Saint Charlos and Roswald and Jalmak. They definitely don't seem to have the same. They don't have a giant gilded freaking spoon shoved up their ass. You know what I mean? They actually are pretty. They know what their position is and their status in the world, and they behave appropriately to that. They know that they're these. They could just be sitting around all day, just being like, "Oh yes, we are the Gunosei. Oh yes, that's so pleasant. Let's burn down one of the islands just because we can. Oh ho ho ho." They could be doing that, but they don't. They take these things very, very seriously because they understand the global economics of this world. Spoon. Yeah, you like a silver spoon shoved in your mouth, silver spoon jammed up your ass. There you go. I'd rather have a funnel in their ass. I mean, okay, sure. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. I think I did 4 grams. 4 grams of what? The tuxedo that they wear is their spacesuit, maybe. Please do that accent again. Oh, yes, I am Baron von Fancy Pants. I actually had to do, okay, so, and I actually still have the stuff over here. I was working on it earlier. I was really excited this past weekend because I was at my friend's place, and we do D&D like every week down at my friend's place, my friend Rob's place, okay? So we get together, and he was running an Eberron campaign, which is really fun. I'm playing a nature cleric, and he was, we did that for a few months. He kind of goes back and forth with it, and he's like, hey, I really want to play a character again. You know, would you like to DM like an actual campaign? Because up until this point, I've only done one-shots. And he's like, do you have a campaign you could do, like anybody at the table? And I'm like, well, I do. I have this big campaign thing. I have a map for it. I've been planning it for years. And he's like, okay, let's do that. So Saturday night, I did the first session of my campaign, my big world that I've been planning forever. And it went really well. I had a lot of fun. Everybody else was having a good time. So I'm so excited. I'm hoping to keep it up because it was a lot of fun. Anyway, there was a character that I played in that first episode that was, oh, I am a rich, fancy noble with a fancy cravat collar. I think I called it a cravat. It's a cravat. But he's like, no, it's a cravat now. You've been cravated. But it was so much fun. It was so great. Let's see here. This content creator shit is skill. He's keeping me highly engaged. I don't know how I'm keeping you engaged right now. I'm tired, and also my mouth has just been drilled in 3 different spots, but hey, I'm glad I'm keeping you entertained. A Tekking stream on my birthday. What a gift. Happy birthday, Mojo Jojo. If one of the Straw Hats had to die in the final battle, which death do you think would have more meaning than the others? Perhaps Usopp dying as a brave warrior of the sea. I mean, all the Straw Hats dying would mean a lot. Like, you can make, like, if you mean, like, who will be the most, like, in terms of fan favorite, if Zoro or Luffy died. If Zoro or Luffy died, that would be the biggest in terms of the fan favorite characters. But if any of the Straw Hats die, that will be a huge deal. What is happening in the first session? I mean, I could just, if you guys want me to just sit here and talk about my D&D campaign, I am more than fucking happy to do that. That'll, like, first of all, that'll give me something that I know I could talk about. But we could go through some super chats as well. Do you think the abandoned ship Frankie found when he got hit by the train was Mad Ship? Yeah, I have no idea, but it makes a lot of sense. I thought that he actually washed ashore on Scrap Island for the longest time. That was Mandela effect crap. He didn't. It was just a random ship floating in the ocean he boards and then fixes himself up with. Yeah! Story time! Fuck yeah, D&D! All right. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'll have a lot of the stuff. Not all of it. I could go upstairs to get the rest of it, but I have a lot of it down here. Okay. So, hold on. All right. Shout out from Egypt. I think you would be interested to read about Raya and Sakina, who were sisters serial killers in Egypt back in the early 1900s. There are still to this day stories about them. That sounds very fascinating to me. I'm going to write that down because Raya and Sakina, because I love Egypt. There's even a parallel to Egypt on my map. Raya and Sakina, but, you know, I don't know what it is. What do you think it is about serial killer stories that just intrigues people? I don't know. Like, my mom is way into that. Like, she'll just be sitting down and watch, like, the ID channel, which is nothing but, like, murder stories. And here's a story about someone that was murdered. Here's a story about someone that was kidnapped. Here's a story about someone that was kidnapped and then murdered. You know, that's all the ID channel is. And my mom loves that shit. So many people do. Yeah, super chats first. Absolutely. So let's go to the super chat page. Super chat page. Oh, my favorite band broke up this week. So that was a thing. Sorry, R.I.P. Panic. Well, I say my favorite band. It was more like Brendan Urie decided to stop making music for a while. That's basically that. Because it was pretty much just him. But, dude, that's end of an era. End of an era. I think he'll come back eventually. I think after, because he's having a baby. He's having a kid. So he's been doing this ever since he was, like, in high school, and Panic at the Disco is hugely popular, and he did, what, like 6 or 7 albums, and then he just came out with the last album, Viva Las Vengeance, last year, and they had their tour, and it's like, okay, I could see him maybe after his kid grows up a little bit, gets a little older, I could see Brendan maybe doing another, like, revival tour or something, but until then, thanks for all the good times. You finally shut the goddamn door. All right. Do you think the abandoned ship... Oh, I just read that. Okay. Something to note is Saturn didn't wear a bubble helmet. I answered a lot of these. With Kuina's dad being linked to the revolutionaries, I feel that Tashigi is definitely a clone. Yeah, everybody's a clone now. I'm just saying that. Everybody's a clone. Weevil's a clone. Bonnie's a clone. Luffy's a clone. Kuina's a clone. Everybody's a clone. Screw it. You know what? Kuina and Tashigi are both clones from somebody else that was Koshiro's wife. There you go. Yeah, Panic was pretty much one man at this point. It was, but I like their last album. Let's see. Don't Let the Light Go Out was pretty good. What was it? There was another song that started with Don't. Put on the gas. Nothing's gonna happen if you sit on your ass. That was a good song. That was good. Great. Now I listen to these songs all the time, and now I'm blanking on the names of the song. Yeah. Vices and Virtues was probably my favorite album, though, of all time. Let's see. I was watching Isekai, and I noticed when you were asking the Elks to attack you, you should have named them after the defense player because offense tackle don't actually tackle. Okay, so here's a little fun fact. I don't know shit about football. All right, I play old Tony that knows a lot about football. Myself don't know a lot about football. I know about as much about football as Rustage knows about Caesar and George Washington and Genghis Khan. Where I'm just going to give George Washington a Texas accent. It's just like, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, is Isekai D&D. Let's see. What's my technique for caramelizing my onions? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is, first of all, you have to... You're not going to caramelize onions in 5 minutes, okay? So if you think that, like, I'm going to hurry up and just caramelize some onions really quick, no. You could burn them in 5 minutes, but caramelizing them, here's what you need to do, all right? So first off, you got to use butter for this. So if you're against butter, if you're like, I don't know if I should use butter, well, too bad. You're going to need butter for this, okay? Just like here's the secret to most good things, butter, all right? So sorry if that is an issue, but butter, okay? So you're going to get a pan, you're going to put some butter in that pan, you're going to melt the butter, you're going to move it around the dish so it's all frothy and fun and everything. You're going to cut up an onion. I like taking little bits of onions, like cutting them up into little cubes, but also leaving a few that are like really like stringy and like long kind of onions. And then you throw them in there and you cook them for a little bit. I throw some pepper on there. I don't think that's not something you really need to do. I just personally do that. So you throw some pepper on there. I throw some more butter on there at that point, kind of slosh the butter around the onions a little bit, and then just let them set. Just let them set, okay? Don't fuck with them. Don't constantly flip them or whatever. Let them set. Keep an eye on them. Come back every like 2-3 minutes. You can go off and do other stuff. I was like, preparing the steak while I was letting those onions caramelize. I had some mushrooms in there too. So go back every couple of minutes and just kind of like spin them a little bit. And it's like, all right. Takes a little while though. I wasn't caramelizing very many. I only had like one little small pan and like a tiny little onion's worth of onions. And of course, onions, everything, like they shrink when you cook them. So keep that in mind. It's like, oh man, I have a lot of onions. And now I only have this many onions. So do that for a little while. Something you can do to speed up the process, what I do is take a little bit of sugar. So you take a little bit of just not all-purpose flour, of sugar, granulated white sugar, and just kind of sprinkle that into the onions. Not a lot. I just do like a little bit of a dash, and then get that on the onions and kind of do that. And then, you just basically just patience and just wait. And then after a few minutes, you flip and just switch them around. And then eventually, when they get to the point that you're happy with them, take them off the heat, and you're good to go. When I caramelized, it took me 3 hours, but it was a bunch without sugar. Yeah, see, the sugar speeds it up, and whenever I make caramelized onions, I don't make a lot. If you're making a lot, then yeah, it's probably going to take you at least an hour, probably longer. It depends. I just did one small onion because I just had steak, and I knew I still had some left over that I'm going to use on like a burger tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, that's a good thing. Cooking streams when? I've always wanted to do a cooking stream. The thing is with the camera angles, I almost need like a separate, like I need like a cameraman or something to like, like move the camera around while I'm cooking to actually show you everything, or have like 4 cameras set up in my kitchen to make it look right. Let's see. Seems like a good foreshadowing for what? Caramelized onions. You need to make a bunch to keep for loads of meals. Yeah, that's what I do with, so something I really like to do. This is a fun thing I like to do. If you've never tried this, if you like kale, which I love kale. Kale is so damn good. So get yourself a shitload of kale, all right? And then go through. I get the bag of kale. You have to go through. You have to, get all the stems off because all the hard, stems are really chewy. Rip them all off. Get a giant bowl of kale. So that's going to take some time in and of itself. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but it's worth it, I'm telling you. So, take all the different kale, kind of peel the kale, get it off the tough little stems, throw it in a bowl. All right, then you're going to get a big pot. And then you're gonna, not a pot, I guess you could use a pot, a nice little like a jumbo cooker or something like that. Get yourself some oil and some garlic. Crush up, mince some garlic. You're gonna throw that garlic in there. You're gonna throw that oil in there. I use high heat oil, like grapeseed oil. I use olive oil too. Olive oil is really good with this. I used to use grapeseed oil and that was fine. I started using olive oil recently. Really good shit. I don't know why. I just never really cared to use it before. I use avocado oil or grapeseed oil or whatever. But I started using olive oil, just ordinary olive oil, not extra virgin, just ordinary olive oil. Really good shit. Anyway, you get that in there. You get the garlic going. Also, radishes. Get some radishes, cut up some radishes. Get some onions, cut up some onions. And then you're going to throw that kale inside of this cooker. You're going to wait a little while for that to cook down. And you're just going to throw some radishes in there and some onions and then douse some more olive oil. And you're going to flip it around. You're just going to cook that. And then it cooks down a little bit more. Add more kale, more onions, more radishes. Just keep doing that. Cooks down. Keep repeating. And then finally, you get this delicious fucking just... Oh my God, it's so good. Olive oil flavor, radishes are delicious, like onions that aren't caramelized, but they're cooked onions. And I add that, I put that on my burgers. Like, it's so good. You get this nice little kale, onion, radish mixture that you can just kind of layer on everything. It tastes so good. Olive oil, hold the virginity, sir. You know what? Do you like to make guacamole? I've never made guacamole. I don't have a problem with guacamole. I actually personally really love avocados. But I don't eat that much of it, if that makes sense. I like the taste of avocado. I think it tastes really good. I just, for whatever reason, don't eat a lot of them. Do you like garlic bread? Yes, and that's another Josh Weissman thing. He has a delicious recipe for garlic bread. Dude, I'm telling you what. It's one of those like heaven moments where it's like my entire life I've just been eating garlic bread from like the store. You get the frozen garlic bread at Walmart or some grocery store and you throw it in the oven and it's whatever. And it's fine. I have no problem with that. But dude, I'm telling you what, when you make your own garlic bread, it's so good. Making your own garlic bread, going to the store, getting a fresh loaf of Italian bread that is right out of the oven, taking that home, throwing some butter into a bowl, microwaving it, throwing some freshly minced garlic and some fresh parsley, and grating some really high-quality cheese like Parmesan Reggiano in there. So you got garlic, parsley, parm, butter, mixing that up, making a garlic butter, slicing that bread in half, slathering that fresh garlic butter on there, throwing it in the oven, cook for 15 minutes. You get that out of there. You take a bite of that. You're fucking transported, okay? You are absolutely transported. Audio and video are not synced. Well, I can't do much about that, but it's okay. It's okay. Too bad Stussy can't have garlic bread. I hear she's allergic. Yeah. So garlic does not typically kill vampires in most folklore. It's just they hate garlic. Like, it's almost like crosses. Like, a cross will not typically kill a vampire. Like, you can do this and be like, back, you fiend of the night. And they'll be like, ah. But they won't be like, they won't explode if you, like, hold a cross up to them or whatever. Has anyone ever told you you're teching of the pirates? Sure. I mean, I guess. Sure. She's a succubus, not a vampire. I'm reading Salem's Lot right now. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, Salem's Lot's good. It's synced for me. Sometimes that'll happen to me. I'll start up a YouTube video and it'll be unsynced. You have to go out, restart it. It'll sync up. That happens a lot on my my smart TV upstairs. That happens. Do you watch basketball or just American football? I don't really watch either. I definitely watch American football more than I watch basketball, but in that regard, I only watch, like, the Super Bowl, and that's pretty much it. Or whenever my mom or my dad comes down and they want to watch football or something, I'll put it on, or my uncle's visiting or something, because they all like football. I'm a Steeler fan, sure, but I'm not huge, not huge into football. Have you seen Arthur Sama's last video about the Gorosei? No, I haven't. No, I have not. I had to refresh. Yeah, that's the thing most people happen. Okay, I'm going to throw out a problem that I have with my smart TV. It's a Samsung smart TV. If anybody else has this issue, let me know. It is the weirdest thing. I have not found anything about it online. Okay, I tried researching this issue, and nobody else is apparently having the issue. So, whenever I rent a movie or, let's say, a television show off of YouTube, so this doesn't happen with regular YouTube videos. I can watch regular YouTube videos just fine. But, like last week, for example, I had some friends over, and I rented The Menu off of YouTube. So if you ever seen the movie The Menu, it just came out like 2 months ago. It was a pretty good movie. I liked it. So we're watching The Menu, and we missed a scene in the movie, so I had to rewind. Every time I have to rewind, it freezes the whole fucking movie. And I literally, the only way to fix it, even if I close YouTube and go back in, it's still, it fucks up all of YouTube. It, like, all of YouTube just crashes whenever I try to rewind a movie. And then the only way to fix it is I literally have to unplug my TV for like a minute and then plug it back in, and then it'll work fine. That is the weirdest problem that no one else I have ever had experienced. It's on Disney Plus. Okay, it's on Disney Plus. I rented it off YouTube. Yeah. It was good. I liked it. Who was the actress in that? She did an amazing job. The Menu. Let's see. Yeah, it was, Anya Taylor-Joy. She did a fantastic job in this movie. She was really badass in it. Hey, isn't the Steelers that team with the really underwhelming logo with the white background and the yellow, red, and blue? I still don't see the problem with the Steeler logo. I'm willing to die on this hill. What video have you made that is your favorite? What's my favorite video? It's honestly probably one of the videos that I just goofed around, like that Christmas special I did a few years ago where that crazy guy was trying to get into the house, or the one Christmas special where I fought that robot version of myself. That was like a lot to do with those, but it was just a lot of fun just because I was just goofing around and having a good time. Those are the videos I made more for myself rather than you. Sorry. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach's VA in the Mario movie. Oh, that's cool. That is a very strange issue with the TV. I know, right? It's weird. The boob video is my favorite. Yeah, the boob video. The boob video, that's going to be a thing. That's going to be on my tombstone when I die, isn't it? Matthew Crawford, 1993, 2000, whatever. You know, he made the boob video. You know, actually, somebody just, you know, because you can do, like, my grandparents' grave has a picture of themselves, okay, on the grave. We found a nice little picture, and they can laser that into the literal thing. So they have this really nice picture of my grandparents on their gravestone. And so when I die, hold on, let me pull it up here. I have everything recorded in my files. I have this big, I had to finally go and buy like a giant, I don't even know if I can show it on, no, I can't. I had to finally go and buy this giant like 4 terabyte hard drive because, no, I think it's 8 terabytes. No, that's 8 terabytes. Holy shit. I had to buy this giant 8 terabyte, largest one I could find just because I'm really starting to run out of room on this computer here. All right, on my, by the way, the file name for the boob video in my records is just the OP Opie contest. OP Opie. That's literally what I titled it. Where's the thumbnail for this? Here it is. All right, so here we go. The 21. Just somebody laser that into my gravestone. Somebody just, you know, it's like, hey, okay, this is the tombstone for Tekking. Just laser that into my tombstone so it has my name and then that right over it. In color. It has to be in color, too. I mean, I'm going a whole 9 yards with this. Did I ever show you guys the alternate thumbnail for the One Piece Best Boob contest? Because there was an alternate thumbnail that I never used. Are you going to do another one of them videos? Probably not. No, I'm actually honestly a little embarrassed that I did this because it's like, I mean, like, sex sells. It's a YouTube video. It's like, because literally the thought process of this was, man, I really want a viral video. How do you get a viral video? Boobs. Okay, that was literally the origin, and I did it, and it's fine. But, like, I look back on it now and I'm like, because especially since the most, I'll tell you the most awkward fucking conversation I have is, okay? Here's the awkward conversation. And this just happened not long ago, all right? I'll be walking in my neighborhood. There'll be a neighbor or something, and they'll be like, oh, hey, you're the new neighbor. I've seen you walking around. And I'll be like, hi, my name's Matt. And then they'll introduce themselves. Like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, I make YouTube videos. Oh, cool. What do you talk about? Anime? Oh, cool. My kids love anime. What's your channel name? And it's like, I'm going to give them my channel name, and it's instantly, they're going to find the boob video. It's going to be the first fucking thing that pops up. I'm like, it's Tekking101, but, you know, if you have, like, little kids, maybe, because I curse a lot in them, and it's just like, maybe not. That's the most awkward fucking conversation, all right? Knowing that they're going to go home and be like, oh, there's this nice young man from the neighborhood, Tekking101. Ah, best 21 boobs in, okay. It's that, okay? But anyway, that's that. That's happened more than once. At least you have the courtesy to warn them. Oh, God, yeah, I warn them ahead of time. I'm like, because they bring up, like, oh, my little kids love watching anime. Do they watch Naruto? Do you watch Naruto? I'm like, yeah, I watch Naruto. It's not for kids. Like, and there's even a thing on YouTube now, like, whenever you upload a YouTube video because of the shit that happened a few years ago, you have to tick a box of, is this for kids or not for kids? Like, you have to do that every time you upload a video. So I'm like, all right, if you have, like, you know, no, it's like, maybe you shouldn't. No, that's not a good idea. Top 21 abs. Now, top 21 abs in One Piece. Okay, now you might be onto something, Leonardo. You might be onto something, Leo. Naruto is definitely not for kids. I know, I watched it growing up. Well, you know, they edited a lot of stuff out of the original Naruto dub. Like, remember that episode where Lee gets drunk as shit and fights against Kimimaro? Yeah, they edited all that out. Well, they didn't edit the fight out, but they're like, he drank some elixir, and now he's the loopy fist. He drank some cough medicine, and now he's really... Which is actually worse, because that's just like, oh yeah, Lee just downed an entire bottle of NyQuil. He's ready to... down entire bottle of Dayquil. Now he's, like, loopy as shit, and he's ready to fight. Yeah. In the anime, in the original dub, it was elixir. In the manga, I think it was potion. I was like, the potion punch. You know, he drank a bottle of potion. He drank a potion from Pokemon. There are 8-year-olds throwing knives at each other. Okay, that is fair. That is fair. That is fair. You never threw knives when you were a little kid? I had a very different childhood then. Anyway, oh yeah, the alternate thumbnail for the boob video. So this is the thumbnail that I ended up going with. I'm actually pretty proud of that. And then this is the other one. This was the alternate artwork. So that one, Nami's I like that one now more because it's a little bit more indicative of my perspective on this video. I actually might change the thumbnail of that. I might go in there right now and change the thumbnail and be like, and just like Nami just giving you the side eye of just like, are you fucking serious? She's just like, look at her. Look at her. She's like judging the shit out of you for clicking on this. No, just like... yeah. Put Zoro in there. Zoro does have the canonically second largest bust in the story. His bust is like 110 centimeters. I think Boa's is 111, so he's like 1 centimeter off. But enough about fictional breasts. Enough about fictional breast sizes. Actually, hold on. Let me look up Zoro's breast size really quick. Let's see here. Yeah. I wonder if any other YouTubers have that problem, though. Because, you know, I have, like Noble, for instance. Noble's videos, I mean... You look at Noble's content, it's very nice, but, you know, some of it's, like, kind of, you know, like, a little bit etchy, you know, the kind of stuff that Noble covers. So I wonder if, like, how, I gotta ask him about that. Like, how do you deal with, like, if somebody asks you what you do on YouTube and you probably just tell them I talk about anime, and they're like, oh, I'm going to show this to my friends, and just like, well, you see. They click on, like, Lost Paws YouTube channel, and the thumbnail's like a woman, like, you know, just like drool running all over the place, and Noble's reaction face. And just like, I cannot be the only person with this YouTube, you know, issue, you know what I mean? Noble only has problems. Yeah. You should do strongest legs in One Piece. She got legs. What's Zoro's breast size? Hold on, we were looking up Zoro's breast size. Let's see here. That was revealed in an SBS. Okay, so they don't actually put the SBS Zoro's measurements in his bio on his page, which is bullshit because they do that with Nami and Robin and Boa and Khalifa, so they should do that with Zoro too. But let me look up SBS really quick. Oh, let's see. Thickest thighs. I'm sure Nux has that issue. Oh, God. Do a collaboration with Jaxblade to talk about the top 21 best abs in One Piece. I feel like the ab video would be more wholesome than the boob video, you know what I mean? But, you know, like, do we really focus on abs so much in One Piece? I would do more of abs in My Hero Academia, because, like, Mirko. Also, what's another series that does really good abs? I don't know, man. Yeah. Hold on a second. SBS. Hello, mate. Hello, governor. All right, I don't think it was in the last SBS. I think it was in the one before that. Oh, yeah, this is the one where we find out that Apu's dick is a triangle. Like, the musical instrument is a triangle. I love Oda. Black Clover has some good abs, yeah. Fire Force, oh yeah, Fire Force. Dragon Ball, everyone's shirtless. It is true. Zoro's chest measurements is 110. And I believe Boa's is 111, so she just barely edges out Zoro. Yeah, see, Boa's measurements are right here on her page. Bust is 111 centimeters. Holy shit, that's 43 inches. Good lord. Like, let's just be honest here. If any One Piece woman, like, actually existed in real life, like, they would break, like, a pencil, like, immediately. But anyway. Does have a bigger bust side than Tsunade. Yeah, he does. He does, canonically. Yeah. Anyway, what were we doing? We were doing Super Chats. We were going to do D&D and then Super Chats, and we just ended up talking about boobs as it happens. Yeah, sure. Fine. I'm okay with that. Love your Bleach content. Been watching you since the first chapter of the 1,000-Year Blood War. I hope you can do Boncast with DB Zimran. Still waiting for an update list on the best boobs of Bleach. I did do one of those. That's the one that less amount of people know about. But if you look, I did do another video. I do have a best boobs in One Piece, best boobs in Bleach video along with the One Piece one. So letting you know about that. Have any plans for your 30th birthday? You know, I didn't. But after I started to think that, like, holy shit, I'm going to be 30 this year. Yeah, I think me and some friends are going to go into, like, we're going to go do something in maybe Pittsburgh or something. We're going to, like, drive to the city and have some fun. Do something. I don't know. I'm not great at fun, but we'll find out. Watch the best bakery video, and I disagree with Sanji. He would give away free food to every pretty girl that walked in like Nami at the Baratier. That is true. He's probably the best baker, but not running a business. Got to give it to Zeph. You know what? That is a good point. Yeah. Did you play the remaster of Persona 3? I've never played Persona 3. The only Persona games I've ever played are 4 and 5. Tekking eats like his favorite character, Frankie. I do. I love hamburgers. That's probably my favorite food. If I had to pick a favorite food, it would probably be a really, really, really top shelf hamburger with caramelized onions and kale. To make great pasta before you put on cheese or tomato sauce, but after you boil the water, mix a lot of butter in and some of the salt into the pasta. I think you recommended that last time. Somebody recommended that to me recently, and next time I make pasta, I'm going to try that. Oh, here's another trick. If you're cooking anything that involves peanut butter, which I was making peanut butter cookies a little while ago, and the biggest problem with peanut butter is, like, let's say you need a cup of peanut butter. Okay, so you need to measure the peanut butter. So peanut butter is it's difficult to get out of the jar. You need to take a spoon, scoop it out of the jar, and then take a measuring cup and then throw it into that. And you kind of have to, it's like goopy and sticky. So it's like, all right, I guess that's a cup. But then you can't just pick up the measuring cup and chug it in. And then even when you scoop it out, then you got peanut butter in the, cleaning it out's a bitch, because peanut butter, it's, you can't just scoop it out. It gets over everything. So what you can do next time to make cleanup easier, take a measuring cup, take some butter spray, like some Pam or something, and just spray the shit out of the measuring cup, and then put the peanut butter in. It'll slide right in, slide right out. Makes cleanup easy. Tekking101 talks about boobs and trading secrets on cooking. There you go. Clean up with Tekking101. Sounds like peanut butter is the bane of your existence. So my mom makes really good peanut butter fudge. That's she's won the county fair for this every year. She gets a blue ribbon pretty much automatically at this point. She has 200 blue ribbons. A good chunk of those are for peanut butter fudge. So she cooks with peanut butter. She bakes with peanut butter fucking constantly. She knows all the ins and outs of how it works. And it's annoying. It can be annoying. That's what I'm talking about. Boobs and cooking. Boobs, baking, and I guess D&D after we get through the super chats. Just opened Netflix and Record of Ragnarok Season 2 is out. How's the manga compared to the anime? I mean, the manga's better, but the anime is really good. In fact, there's one scene that I've been watching over and over and over again, and it's the scene with when Raiden uses Yatagarasu against Shiva. The theme song in that is straight up fucking fire from, the 7th level of hell, the level of hell where all the murderers go. Oh my god, it's an awesome theme. Listen to this fucking shit. Right here. Raiden raised his hand and used a technique both simple and intricate. Tempo! God damn, that soundtrack slaps. Oh, shit. Okay, I don't like to bug people with this, but, seriously, if you could find me this soundtrack, if it exists, I will love you forever, okay? There's another soundtrack that has been a pain. There's actually been two that have been a pain in my ass for, the last couple of weeks that I've been trying to find an isolated track from, and I cannot get it. That's what I like about One Piece, because it's so popular. There's actually a website that is a One Piece soundtrack catalog. So if you ever wanted to know a One Piece soundtrack, you can go to this site and you can look up the episode and the time code. And they update it all the time with new episodes. And you can go episode 472 at 14 minutes, 27 seconds in, boom, you know that soundtrack. And here's the link to it. So Hunter x Hunter does that too. There's also a site with Hunter x Hunter. But not all anime have that, okay? So, I will make this simple here. Hold on. One's from My Hero Academia. Let's see. I can't play it, but I want to queue up the episode here. Link? How do I super chat? Oh, the link to the One Piece thing. Yeah. Hold on a moment. Oh, I took that off my bookmark. I have it somewhere. I haven't looked at it in quite some time. Rangiku didn't win the best boob in Bleach poll. Who won the best boobs in Bleach poll? I don't even remember now. It's been a long time. Thought it was Rangiku. Might have been Yoroichi. But anyway, okay. My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 13. It's the soundtrack that plays when Mr. Compress is having his little flashback moment, and he's remembering the great thief dude, Hajimaru Oji. So there's a little bit of a flashback with Mr. Compress, where his great grandfather was this great hero, or not a hero, he was a villain, but he was like this Robin Hood type figure named Hajimaru Oji. And there's a theme that plays in the background that is so good, and I need to get that. And the other one was actually, you know what? I did get the other one. It's not exactly quite what I needed, but it's good enough. The other one was a 7 Deadly Sins one. Thoughts on streaming Breath of the Wild 2? I just looked up Breath of the Wild 2 update last night because I was curious about it. One of my favorite YouTubers is playing, doing a Let's Play of Breath of the Wild right now, and so that got me curious. And when is the sequel to this coming out? And by the way, Breath of the Wild, I might just play it again, man. I 100%ed that damn game. All right, May 12th is the release date now, but that's changed quite a bit, so I don't know if that's real or not. Let's see. Hello, this is my first live stream. Well, hello there, Tim. Hey, Tim, what's up? Should be the right one. Let's see. Are you going to play Hogwarts Legacy? Probably. I have a friend, Casey's husband, Zach, that just loves Harry Potter, and he's really excited for it, so I think I'm going to give it a try, too. It was a dev update that they gave the May. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tekking, you should do a collab with that Tekking101 guy. He's got the same name as you. Yeah, man. By the way, has it been just me, or has there been a lot more spam crap lately? Just like in the last couple of months, spam everything. Like the stupid spam chat in the comments where it's like, you want a free PS5. Send me a message on Insta, whatever. You know, like, that's been more annoying for me. I've had to deal with that issue. They introduced the handles thing, but they got around the handle thing, so they're doing that now. I've been getting a lot more spam emails in my inbox that the filter's not picking up. It just, everything has been spamming as shit lately. Oh my god, spam calls too. I've been getting more spam calls. It's like the spam bots is like they're finally starting ready to get taken over the world, guys. They finally had enough. The spam calls, it's like, all right, now we advanced. We advance on the humans now. They think their ad blocks will and robo killers will keep them safe. Oh god. For sure, more spam now. Mr. Beast, get your free $1,000 now. Holy crap, guys, Mr. Beast is in my chat. He's giving me a free $1,000. Oh, wait. Now, damn it, again. I've been bamboozled again. Damn it. Skynet doesn't even need to launch the nukes or whatever the fuck. They could just spam the shit out of us, and it's like, there you go. Pretty soon, everybody you talk to on the internet will be spamming you out of your money. You could be like, okay, like one of your best friends could message you on Facebook right now. And then you're like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? And then you'll have a whole conversation with them all night. And at the very end, it turns out it was a spam. It was a robot the whole time, and all your money in your account is gone. They figured it out, man. The robots are learning. What about the D&D? Yeah, we were going to talk about my D&D thing. Hold on. Are you excited for the Devil's Luck rap coming? I've actually already listened to it. Rustage gave the song to us. We could hear it. I'm excited for the visuals. It's going to be fire. Let's see. Do you think the reason why Whitebeard hugs Squard is because he knows the pain of having stabbed one's captain? Someone else's theory, not mine. No, actually, that might make sense. Maybe, well, Whitebeard didn't fight against Rox that we know of, but maybe he delivered the finishing blow on Rox. Who knows? Maybe it was neither Roger or Garp that killed Rox. Maybe it was Whitebeard that finally delivered the finishing blow. Could be. That could add a whole new layer to it. That's what I love about One Piece. You can go back through this story and find so many different scenes. Like, the scene where Whitebeard hugs Squard is already such a powerful scene, but then it's like, no, there's a way to make this even more powerful. It's like, holy shit. Who do you think has the saddest backstory in One Piece? I'm still on record saying that Brook has the saddest backstory in One Piece. And it feels weird when I, like, smile, like I clench my teeth. Feels weird. But I go to a good dentist. Same dentist I've been to ever since I was from, like, I think I was like in 3rd grade. It was actually really funny. When I was a little kid, my parents took me to this the first dentist I ever had was this really old guy. Like, I'm telling, really old. Like, he was this old, like, guy from Russia. He was like in his 80s, and he was like in this little shop. And literally, like, he wouldn't use any modern equipment. So, like, I would be a little kid, like, in 2nd grade, and my mom is like, okay, time to go to the dentist. And I would just be like, Oh, no, it was like earlier than that. It was more like kindergarten. It's like, okay, time to go to the dentist. And every kid was just like afraid to go to the dentist, but I would go to the dentist. And all this guy would do is just like, okay. And then he would sit me down and he would take like a little pick and a mirror and he would just kind of look in my teeth and just kind of like brush them a little bit and just scrape them. He's just like this shriveled old dude. And he's just like, all right, you're good. And I'd get up and I'd leave. And that would be it. And the dentist wasn't a big deal. And then eventually he retired because he was really old. He retired when I was like 6 or 7. And so when I was around 7 in second grade, my mom was like, okay, we got to go to a new dentist now because our old dentist retired. And I didn't care because I was like, all right, all dentists are the same. I go to this new dentist where I'm at right now. And oh my God, they have all the modern equipment. So they're holding me down and like the pressure water, like, shh, I'm like, ah! And it's like, what the fuck is this? It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, this is what the dentist is? You know, like, so holy shit. And it's like, I didn't like the dentist after that. Didn't like the dentist after that. Nope. I'm okay with it now. You know, when I get my teeth fucking drilled, it's not fun, but you know what I mean? Just the cleaning I'm fine with. Yeah. I'm making my first D&D campaign, and it's set in the future of the One Piece world after Luffy dies. That's actually a cool way to do it. So, with One Piece D&D, Rustage has already gone on record saying that after this is over, we're going to do One Piece Marines, which will be fun. But if I ever do a One Piece D&D, I think I'm going to set it during the time skip. Because Rustage does not use a lot of the One Piece characters. That's just his choice. Although Blue and O was in the last episode. I think that might have been the first character that Rustage used that was from the One Piece series. I used Avalo Pizarro and Roshinate in the movie when I did it. But, you know, I think this is the first character that Rustage is actually included that was from the One Piece world, is Blue and O. So I want to use a lot of the characters, though. I want to role play, like, you know, Kaido and shit. So, yeah. If I did, I'm not saying it'll happen, but it probably won't. But if I ever did a One Piece D&D, it would be set during the time skip, so the Straw Hats are kind of out of the picture right now. And then it would be alternate timeline where, hey, if the player characters kill the 4 emperors and become king of the pirates, I guess they do, whatever. Blue and O is a goat. He is. I'm scared to go right now. I know I have cavities. Yeah. I can't tell you what to do, but like, hey, I'd rather get them drilled than deal with them later. Tekking's doing his famed impression. Okay, I read that as failed, and then I read it as famed, and then I read it as farmed, and then I read it back to famed. I am the Orochi! You will face me in pitched combat! I roll! I fail! Oh, man. I never had a cavity in my life. Good job. Keep it up. Is Return to Shiganshina the best arc in the Attack on Titan anime? It's a pretty good one. Yeah, I like it. It might be my favorite arc of the series, yeah. Do you care about power scaling? I like to talk about power scaling. I don't like it when people take it way too fucking seriously, because that just kind of ruins it for me. Like, I like to sit down and have a conversation about, like, hey, Goku versus, you know, Saitama. But people take it way too fucking seriously, man. We're just like, Goku could not fucking beat Saitama! I'm like, shit, calm down. Jesus Christ. You know? So I like talking about it. That's why I usually don't bring it up that much on the channel. It just causes drama shit in the chat. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Tekking, give me a name for a D&D character. Let's go with... actually, I can give you one that I used recently in a video, and that was in the Hunter x Hunter video. It was like emo, Duskheart or something like that. Like my name is Lance Dreadknife. Something like that. Yeah, Lance Dreadknife. Have I done my D&D showcase yet? No. Okay, I'm gonna go get some stuff that I used. I'm trying to think, what do I need that's upstairs? Do I need anything that's upstairs? Hold on. Thinking. I have a lot of the books down here. Thank you, Tekking. You're welcome. There was something upstairs I was gonna go get. I don't remember what it was now. Hold on. Thinking. Shit, what was it? D&D stuff. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think which specific D&D stuff. Blanking here. Your inspiration, man. Love you. Love you too, man. Is it crack? I don't know. Maybe. Do you play any phone gacha games? Not really. I never really played. The only game I ever played on my phone was Pokemon Go. That was the only game. Never got into Angry Birds. Never got into Candy Crush. Never got into Flappy Bird. Never got into any of the popular... What's the big game? What's the big game everybody plays on their phone right now? Like, what's the big in-game? I don't even know what it is. Don't play games on my phone, really. Never really was into it. Is it Clash of Clans? Oh, Doodle Jump. Okay, that's wrong. I did play Doodle Jump for a hot minute. Not very long, but I did play Doodle Jump for a hot minute. Okay, but that was years ago. That was a long time ago. This was like I was in college. But I did play Doodle Jump for a little while. TikTok is a game. Let's see. Raid Shadow Legends. See, I wouldn't want to play RuneScape on my phone. I want to play RuneScape at my computer where I have my keyboard and my mouse. I would not feel comfortable sitting on my phone playing RuneScape like this. If it works for you, it works for you. That just sounds like that just wouldn't work, Like I want to have my dual screen keyboard whole setup when I play RuneScape. Haven't played RuneScape in a while. Actually, the last time I played RuneScape was when I was drawing this. Oh, I remember what I was going to get now. I remember what I was going to get. All right, I'll be right back. I only play Candy Crush. All right. It's a good game. Okay. Okay, so watch out, don't fall in the hole. Talk to us, Barry. I love how as soon as I leave, everyone's just like Chair Chan, Jacket Chan, Jackie Chan, and Barry. Radiation or Gamma Logia. Ooh, that would be good. I would want a Gamma Logia, and he just turns into the Hulk. That'd be awesome. What was my major in college? My major was digital media communications, and my minor was nothing because I didn't take one. I was going to do, it was like my last year of college, and I was thinking maybe I should take history as a minor because I really love history. And I talked to some people about it. There was a history professor I talked to a little bit about it, but I ultimately decided not to because I'd be in school for a lot longer, which would mean more money, which would mean less time. I would take longer to graduate, which would mean less time focusing on YouTube. And I was really kind of just done being in college because I'd been in college for like 6 years. And I'm just like, I just want to get done with college. I want to get the damn bachelor's degree. So I just graduated with a bachelor's degree in digital media communications. Would you hate William as a friend? William would be a dick. I mean, William would be a shitty friend. He would forget your birthday. He would, yeah, not a fun guy. Yeah. He would remember your birthday like once every 3 years. Okay. So D&D stuff. Now, I have definitely showed this on the stream before over the years. So if you're an OG Tekking101 fan, you've probably seen this before. But, you know, always new people coming to the channel. Who here, by the way, who here in the chat has started watching my channel within the last 6 months? I want to get a skit. I'm just curious to see how many newbies are here compared to how many people, or you could just tell me, like, you know, I've been watching for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you know? See? Yeah. There's a lot of newcomers, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've been here like a year. I've been here for years. Me, not me. About 9 or 10 months for me. See, you know, there's people that just, oh God, that's so weird. That's so weird that people are just like watching my channel and just being like, wow, I really like this techie guy. I'm going to keep watching him. And I'm just like, oh, because I keep thinking my fans are all the same fans from like 2013 or whatever. You know what I mean? About a year and a half, 2017, 2018. 2018 was 5 years ago now. I know, right? What the fuck? 2018, 5 years from now. Yeah. 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. I can tell with the membership tokens. I can tell that you've been there for a while. 7 years, 5 years, 2018, 2015, 1 minute since Gear 5. Oh yeah, that's another good question. How many people are here because of the Gear 5 video when I did the 1044? Because that was like the most popular chapter review of last year, obviously. Was that might have been a big draw for a lot of people. Found your channel from a non-One Piece video that you have commented on. Haha. There's a new channel that I actually started watching lately. It's a history channel called Atunshei Films. Atunshei, Atunshei. He does a lot of history videos on the American Civil War and also on like the Vinland sagas and everything. So go check him out. He's a brand new channel I started watching recently. I also started watching, this was like last week, like less than a week ago, I started watching this guy, Mr. Ballin. Or was it Mr. Ballin? Or Mr. Balls, I forget. He's a storyteller YouTuber, and he just sits down and tells these like horror stories, creepypastas, but he has just a really good way of telling the story. So I've been sitting down and watching him lately. When my uncle was visiting last week, he was in town, and we were watching a couple of his videos, and he was really good. I just started watching him, and then my uncle got here. He was visiting, and he's like, what are you watching? And I'm like, this. And so we sit down and watch it, and it was pretty entertaining. Rant Cafe! Mr. Ballin! Yeah. Mr. Ballin, yeah. I've been watching the streams in the last 6 months. I found your channel trying to learn about the trees of the One Piece. There was some... Oh, so you were the dude. There's one dude sitting around just like, man, I'm confused by the trees in the One Piece world. I wonder if anybody's made a video on that. Probably not. Oh, hey, look at this guy. This Tekking dude made a video about trees. I was actually thinking about making a sequel to that one. Trees 2! Acorn Boogaloo. Oh, man. But, yeah. But anyway, okay, so D&D stuff. Keep getting sidetracked. Okay. So, when I was 15 years old, this was before I played D&D at all. I knew of D&D. I had no friends that played it. Not interested really in it at that time. So I was 15 years old. This was back in like 2008, probably. No, it would have been probably winter of 2009, probably early 2009, like February or January. I remember it was really cold outside. So I'm 15 years old. I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore. I'm in my mom's house, just in my bedroom, bored, nothing really to do, can't go outside because it's fucking freezing. I'm 15, so I don't have a driver's license, so I can't drive anywhere. So I'm in my room, and I'm like, I need something to just kill the time. I think it was a Friday night. Like I said, no driver's license, and I live out in the middle of nowhere, so couldn't go out with my friends or anything. So I had some poster board in my room, like some big poster board. So I thought, what the hell, I'll draw a fantasy map. So I got this big piece of poster board out, and I got a Sharpie, and I just started drawing out this random map, like this, like, okay, here's a continent, here's another continent, here's an island, whatever. And I'm drawing this fucking map. And while I'm drawing the map, by the way, I had my TV turned on to Cartoon Network, and it was playing a Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack Marathon. and I remember this. The remote to my TV I had set on the other side of the room, like on the dresser. So I'm on my bed with all these markers and this big flat surface, like a big flat piece of wood or something on my bed that I'm drawing this map on this piece of poster board. So I didn't want to get up and go get the remote. So I'm just sitting there. Guess I'm stuck watching Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack for 3 hours because I'm drawing this map. So I was up for probably like 3 or 4 hours drawing this map, and then I actually drew the map, then I colored it in, and I drew in the ocean, and then I was like, all right, I guess I'll name all the cities now, and it was very lame. I was just picking cities from like anime. Like I was basically, a lot of this was based off of Naruto. I was a big fan of Naruto at the time. So I was like, there's a land of grass, there's a land of earth, there's a land of wind, so I'm doing a lot of that bullshit. A lot of the names for things were like from Bleach. Like I remembered I named one of the cities Shunsui after Shunsui Kyoraku. Just taking words and shit from anime, from RuneScape, from other properties that I enjoyed. And once again, I had no way of using this. Okay, after it was all over, I'm like, okay, I drew a map. That's great. I didn't play D&D at this point. I had no idea really even how to play D&D. So I'm like, I guess I have a fantasy map now. Whatever. It killed an afternoon. It killed an evening. So I grabbed it and just kind of shoved it in the back of my closet. And every couple of months, every few years or whatever, when I'd be cleaning up my bedroom, I'd go into my closet and I'd always see it back there. And I was like, okay, do I want to throw this away or not? And I'm like, no, because this was like 4 hours of my life that I'm never getting back. It's a shitty, stupid map I drew when I was 15. But I'm not going to throw it away because, I want to keep that. So I never threw it away, but it's like, I don't know what to do with it. What am I going to do with this thing, right? So then, flash forward, like over a decade later, when I do start playing D&D, and then COVID hits in 2020, and then I got nothing to do, and I'm like, all right, I'm doing One Piece D&D at this point. So Rustage is running One Piece D&D, and Rustage uses this program called Incarnate for all the maps that we use when we play One Piece D&D. And I get a subscription to Incarnate, and I'm like, oh my god, I could probably, and then I was like, oh man, it would be really great if I had a fantasy map if I ever wanted to do a campaign. And then I have a moment where I stop to myself and I think like, holy shit, I do have a fantasy map. I'm like, I go in my closet and I'm like, I have the thing. So I take this fantasy map and I go on Incarnate and I make a updated version of it that's a little less cringy. And I move some stuff around. I rename towns so they're not blatant ripoffs from anime characters. And I have this, okay? So I am now going to show you what the original map was that I drew at age 15 while binge-watching a Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack marathon. Also, something I did not notice when I drew this, I swear to God, maybe subconsciously, I do not know. When I show you this, it's going to look like something. I did not intend that to be what it looked like. I drew it, and that's what it turned out. And I changed it on the updated map. But this is what it turned Okay. All right, now. No. This is serious. This is fucking geography here, all right? I want some serious. No. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, all right? Now, here's the deal, all right? Here's the fucking deal. All right, so this is the sun continent over here. This is the jungle continent down here. This is the desert continent. Where's Shunsui? Shunsui's right here. It's this giant-ass desert capital. And down here, this is the snow continent. Yeah, this is the land of the snow. The land of ice is up here, because the land of snow and the land of ice, different lands. Let's see, the mirror continent, get it? It's the mirror continent, because they're reflecting. And then, reflecting sea, the grass continent, where you get that good-ass grass. Bunch of different islands. There's a drowned area over here. There's an eel island here. There's another. This is the same continent. It like loops around. This is where the elves live. Oh, and then there's this little thing. There's Lock Island and Key Island. Oh God. So I don't think 15-year-old me could draw this. I mean, does it really look that good? Does it look good? It looks funny, I could tell you that. That's a huge peninsula. That's a huge peninsula. Go to the gym Tekking. I actually do. Actually. I was there last week. I was there like 3 days ago. No, wait, 2 days ago. Yeah, I'm getting good on that stair stepper too. 40 floors on that stair stepper for cardio. Also do some chest and lifting, bicep kind of things. So, yeah. This is what I had to work with. All right, so I touched it up a little bit. So it doesn't look quite as much like a sex toy. This is the current map. All right, so a little bit less provocative. Little updated there. Yes. I don't know why I'm showing you this in paper form. I have a file of this on my computer, I just realized. So, where did you make that? That is on a website called Incarnate, Inkarnate. Yeah, Incarnate, like incarnate, but Incarnate. Sex? I thought it looked like a middle finger. Oh, okay, sure. Totally didn't look like a 3-prong sex toy. All right, 3-prong dildo. Okay, Incarnate, it's really good. So I have an actual file of this. That's, I could just pop in here and show you. Yeah, here it is. So there it is. Wow, it's really hard to see it with that regard because of how big this file is, but I wonder can I zoom in better with this? Actually, hold on, let me try something there. Let me try doing this instead. It looks like a tad like a stick figure drawing on the continents on the left a little. Yeah. Let me show you a better image here. Okay. All right, let me move that over here. Okay, so this is my little world that I built. All right, I see I can zoom in and shit. Okay. So, yeah, I still took quite a bit of this from other properties. Like Luna Island up here, that's ripped directly from, wait, can I go over? Wow, it's cutting off. Weird. But Luna Island up here, that's directly ripped from RuneScape. I also included Ape Atoll. But I actually made it an Ape Atoll. So there's an island in RuneScape called Ape Atoll. It's not actually an atoll in the game, but it's one of my favorite locations in RuneScape. It's probably my favorite location in all of RuneScape. It's an island filled with monkeys, and the monkeys have their own town and their own king and everything like that. So I'm like, I want to use that. And so I included that in here, except I actually made it an atoll, and Merim is the name of the town on there. I miss RuneScape. You could go play it. It's still there. Crash Island also is from RuneScape. Let's see. Some of these are in-jokes, like Candy Apple Island. That's the name of, that was a reference from a Simpson episode. So there's an old Simpsons episode where it's a Halloween episode where they're going to Skull Island. It's like a King Kong parody. And they're going there, and it's like, oh, we're not going there. We're going to Candy Apple Island. Candy Apple Island? What do they have there? Apes, but they're not so big. So I was like, I want to include that there. So, yeah, this is my world. It's called Terrene, Terrene. I just took the words Terra for the earth and serene, and I just portmanteaued them, stuck them, Frankenstein them together. So I did that. And I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's whatever. It's a thing. Candy Wife's hometown. There we go, yeah. That might have inspired part of it, yeah. I'm raiding the Kringle Crags. So, I did a few one-shots with my friends, and all the one-shots that I've done are in this universe. I've just never done a consistent campaign in the universe. And one of the campaigns was a Christmas-themed one that actually does take place up here in the Kringle Crags. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. So, isn't terrine a vegetable dish? You know what? All the more better that it's an actual thing. Texas. Yes, I named Texas just because it's honestly for the sake of one pun that I have a place called Texas. But also just having a fantasy world but Texas still exists in this fantasy world. I thought there could be some pretty good humor for that. Yeah. Is there a government in this world? Oh yes, big time. There is a big ass empire that is trying to take over the world. Kind of situation. Not take over the world quite yet, but it's getting there. So, I started this 2 days ago. I got together with my friends. I was really nervous because this is like something I've been working on for like, I drew the original dildo map when I was 15, but like this map I've been working on since like COVID, so like late 2020. Really, so it's been like 2 years. I've been fine-tuning this map. I was finally confident enough to get it printed out, because then I'm like, oh, if I get it printed out, what if I want to add something else? I have to keep going down to Staples every week to get a new map printed out. So, I started the campaign, and the campaign, the basic premise of the first arc, let's say, the first story arc of the thing, is, let me show you that. Let me try doing this just to kind of show you. So this is the continent. All the continents are kind of based off of real-life locations. This is the continent of Helios, and it's based off of the North America. So North America is kind of here. We got some deserts. Down here is the continent of Jor, and that is based off of South America. There's a continent to the east that's Africa, and there's India, and there's Europe, and then there's the Arctic, and all that kind of jazz. Anyway, so I started. I'm trying to get this. Hold on, let me try doing something like this. This will be better. This will be better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's Earth 2. Well, it also helps because I love history, so there's an allegory for Egypt and everything too, so I can go crazy with all that stuff. Anyway, so the campaign, first arc, starts out here on Solaris Island. So Solaris Island is a little rural. It's part of this big empire, but it was like recently added to the empire, so it's kind of the boonies of this place. New Gaze is the capital city, and that's where the players all started. It's the capital. It's where the king lives and everything. It's also the place that has the most, stores. The timeline of this is kind of late 1800s, early 1900s, kind of turn of the 20th century. There are guns. There's like technology and that kind of stuff. Magic has, been a normal part of this world. So there's places where you can get magical items and stuff. So the plan was, okay, we're going to, have all the characters in New Gaze. They're going to meet up. They're going to interact a little bit. They're going to pick up whatever they need. And they're going to get on a boat, and they're going to sail for Ember Island, which is taken from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but it's not the same kind of Ember Island. The whole basis of this place, it's called the Sol Empire, S-O-L Empire. So everything's based off of the sun. So Helios is indicative of that, and then you have Solaris, which is, something, and then everything is fire and sun-based, so Sparks Island, Cinder Island, Ash Island, Ember Island, so there you go. So Ember Island is a deserted island. It's just an island that's on the edge of the world that nobody ever cared about. It's about the size of Iceland. Since the Empire has taken over Solaris Island, this big area, the Empire's like, okay, we're going to start colonizing all of these islands on the edge of the world, kind of like Manifest Destiny kind of situation. Kind of not unlike what the British Empire did, or what the Americans did, or whatever. You find an island, you plant a flag. That's kind of what empires do. Even if it's not really all that relevant, that's what you still do. Anyway, so they're going to go to this island and start to, start a colony, which I'm a big fan of Vinland Saga, so that's where I got that idea. But, like, it's like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Like, they'll be like, it's kind of a typical adventure. It's not really that. It's like now they're trying to set up this colony and where it's going to go with that. So they're in the city. And I have 5 players, which is a lot of players. I was kind of nervous because I'm like, okay, I thought it was like 3 of us, and it's like, okay, 4 players, and then there's this new guy that just joined. First time I ever met him, but he was a really great guy. He's a really great role player. So I have 5 players here in this campaign, but it was a blast. So I'm a lot more confident going into the next of it. So the campaign's doing great. I'm introducing each of the characters individually. We have an Eladrin, that's a bard. We have an Eladrin bard, and we have a Tabaxi bard as well. Yeah, we had 2 bards, Tabaxi bard. Then we had a Drow rogue. Believe he was a rogue. I have this all written down in my notebook upstairs. Then we have a Ghostwise halfling druid. And then we had a Dampier, which I'm really excited for the Dampier because there's a vampire continent in this place, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's going to tie together so well. The other thing is I included a lot of, I basically went through every single race in the DMG or in the expanded modules, every single race in D&D, and I gave them a point of origin on this planet. Here's the ancestral homeland of the giants. Here's an ancestral homeland of turtles, of Tabaxi, of the Loxodons and whatever, and I'm like, I have all of that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So this is setting shit up for later already. So it's a very, very motley crew of people, but it's starting off. They're going through the city. I have a shitload of shops all lined off. It's like, I want to go over there and get a train whistle. The halfling wanted to, like, I want a train whistle. You know those little train whistles you got when you were a kid? So he goes into the woodworker, like the wood carver, and he gets a bunch of train whistles and shit. And the Dampier is just messing with, the Dampier is like, I'm just blowing, she's a warlock, so she's like, I'm just gonna blow up pigeons. So she's on the side of the road blowing up pigeons, and that's when I had the noble show up. The noble shows up, he's like, you're blowing up pigeons, that's rather amusing to me, here's a gold, blow up another one. And so then the Dampier lures the noble into the alley and kills him and steals all of his shit. So that was a fun little introduction to the Dampier's character. Which, I would say, it's like, you're going to start with this shit. But it's like, she's a Dampier. She's a fucking vampire. I'd be like, fine, whatever. It's just like, whatever, it's cool. Really good role players all around with this. All of them really are. So where things deviated, because if you are a DM, everything's going to deviate at some point. You can plan everything down to the ass end, but it's eventually going to deviate. And I was expecting that. So I'm like, okay, I was wondering where everything was going so smoothly for like the first hour and a half. Everything's very smooth. They go to the docks. The captain shows up. And of course, it's, because I am the One Piece guy, I was like, all right, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. So I use the Roger voice. I'd be like, hello there, mateys. Me be Captain Cash. I be the captain of this fine vessel. So he's the one, Captain Cash, who is based off of Johnny Cash. He's going to be the captain of this ship that's going to take everybody to this island to begin this like colonization project. So everybody kind of meets up in this big group. There's a lot of NPCs there. The players are like talking to the NPCs, and there's a turtle that's an NPC. There's this dwarf that's an NPC, and we're having a lot of really cool interactions with that. And then the players start interacting with each other because this is where they all meet up, and they're interacting with everything. And it's like, oh my god, this is so much fucking fun. So the ship is leaving the following morning. So I basically had a thing where like the captain and the leader of the expedition, his name's Nikolai, he walks out and he's like, okay guys, tomorrow morning 10 a.m. we're shipping off and we're gonna go to this island and we're gonna be there for a while, and after you colonize the island, if you finish your contract, you get like a shitload of gold. You'll get like 1,000 gold for your payment. The king will pay you for this project. So that's the whole idea, so they can get a lot of money. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you one more night in the city where you can buy, pretty much one last night where you're in actual civilization where you can buy shit, and then you're going to head to the island. Okay, so there is a place called the Magical Item Reserve, and this is a place, Noble joined the party, exactly. So this is a place where the government of this world is basically broken up into a bunch of different branches, just like the U.S. government is. Like we have like a Department of Defense, a Department of Transportation, Department of Energy. Well, in this world, there are various departments. I actually have their things here. Yeah, they are right here. Soul Empire divisions. So there is 6 different divisions, and then there's like the Royal Guard and stuff in the center. Like the Royal Sun kind of represents the king and the Royal Guard and everything like that. And so the one on top is the military, the sword with the wings. So there's an army branch, there's a navy branch, there's an air branch, then there's a support branch, then there's like the dragon is a magical beasts branch that manages magical beasts for the Empire. The one with the gears is the R&D division. It's the Squad 12 of this world. The one with the 3 gems is the magical item branch that deals with magical items in the world and everything. And then the one with the spell scroll sigil thing is with the spell circle. That's like the arcane branch that manages the wizard universities and everything like that. So, this is the magical item division, right? So they basically have this building, and there's not very many of these buildings. In fact, there's only one on the entire island. It's the capital city. So I'm like, okay, it's the capital, so they have one of these. It's a magical items shop, but it's a shop that's run by the government, all right? So I know this isn't... That's a problem. I know immediately what a lot of people are going to think of. Like, if you have a store that sells magical items, what are the players going to do? They're going to go in and steal all the magical items, right? It's like you walk into a shop and there's a kindly old, guy behind the counter, and he's just like, "Well, hello there. My name is Old Bill, and I opened my little magic shop." The players are just going to like kill Old Bill, burn his house down, and take all the magic swag that's in there, right? So this is a straight up like government like building where there's anti-theft shit out the ass. There's like alarm spells, sea invisibility. Everybody has a ring of sea invisibility. Everybody has a ring of mind protection. You're not going to cast friends on the clerk and like, give me all the shit. It'd be like, okay. There's very powerful wizards that work here that are the clerks that manage everything. So I'm like, all right. I mean, and you know what's crazy? If at some point they want to try to do an Ocean's 11 and rob the place, I would love that. But level 1, probably not so good. So I was like, okay, let's really work this out, okay? So I make a whole list of magic items. Here's the price. I even tell them going into it, I'm like, guys, this is common knowledge in this world. You are basically like walking into like the department of the IRS or like a mint. Like you're walking into the federal mint. You're not going to be able to walk out with money. You're not going to just walk into the federal mint and steal shit and no one's going to care. I mean, it's like, hey, if you pull some shit in here, it's going to go down pretty fucking quick. And it's not just going to be like, like some lackadaisical city guards that are there picking their nose like, I don't know, oh, he stole some stuff, stop. No, this is going to be the military, right? So they actually behave themselves really well. I'm so happy that they behave themselves. There was a little bit of a running gag where the halfling would communicate telepathically. And every time he would try to use telepathy in the store, like a little alarm would go off. Not like alerting the whole store because it's not like major magic, but like ding, ding. And the clerks are like, please stop doing that. Please, we have to keep resetting the silent alarm every time you do that. Please stop. So they bought some stuff. They bought some magic items. And it's just like, okay, cool. And this is where things went off the side. Okay. So there was 2 people. There was the Tabaxi Bard and there was the Drow Rogue. And in order to get into the magic item reserve, there are these 2 guards that are like part of the military, very fancy uniforms that had bags of holding that confiscated weapons because they're not going to let you go in there with swords and weapons and crossbows. Like that's not how this works. So it's like, we'll take the weapons, we'll give them back to you after you leave. And they do. But the Tabaxi and the Drow are like, fuck that shit. We are not handing our weapons over to the government. We're going to go off and we're going to find magic items. We're going to look for the black market basically. So I'm like, okay, you're looking for the black market. Interesting. Okay. So 3 members of the group go into the store and shop like normal. They get some potions. Like the 2nd floor has spell scrolls. The 3rd floor has the head of the branch, who's, of course, a really sexy, big-breasted witch named Wendy. And, of course, it's like a woman, huge boobs, blonde hair, giant hat, beauty mark on her face, of course. Just like Wendy Avalon, I named her. So anyway, they're in there shopping, and then the Tabaxi and the Drow are just wandering off. Now, earlier in the day, the other bard, the Eladrin bard, earlier in the day, had ran into a thief. Okay, and I had just this quick little interaction with this thief, like on the street corner or whatever. The bard was like on the street corner performing for money, and the thief kind of came up to her and was just like, hey, this is our street corner, just leave it alone. And so there was about to be a fight there, but then the guy decided to stand down and he walked away. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I'll just circle back and use that guy again. So the Drow and the Tabaxi are going through their names, by the way, are the Tabaxi was named Bold Fang, and Grigori, that was it. The Drow's name was Grigori. And by the way, I love the dude that role plays. Every character he makes, he does an amazing accent. So he's really laying on this Eastern European accent super thick. He's like, my name is Grigori, and it's so fucking good. I can't do as good as he does. So they're going through the alleyways. They run into these 4 like street toughs, like these 4 gang members in this alleyway. And they're about to they're about to fence off some magic items. Like the idea was they're waiting for the buyer for some stolen magical goods. And so they mistake the Tabaxi and the Drow for the buyers. And I think they roll like, I can't remember if they rolled persuasion or something, deception. Something happens. They roll something. They do well. So I'm like, okay, they don't know who they are. So the thugs in the alley just assume you're the buyers of these items. So they're like, all right, okay, it's down here in the sewers. So they open up the sewer plate. They go down in the tunnel, and there's like a little hidey hole. It's not like a base of operations. It's just like a little hidey hole in the side of the cavern where there are a few magical items down here. And there's like, I think 5 or 6. There's some rings. There was a wind fan. There was a broken wand. There was a cloak, and it's in there. And they're like, all right, so the price for this stuff is like 4. They're like doing a markup price. Now, the thing is, there are 4 of these thugs, and 2, just the Tabaxi and the Drow, rogue and a bard, level 1. They each have like 10 hit points, okay? So I'm assuming they're going to, try to bargain the price or something like that. It's like, oh, that's not fair. We're going to barter. We're going to figure out something. We're going to arrange for a price. We're not going to fight here because we're outnumbered 2-1, 4-2 in this underground sewer in this tight closed room. So the Tabaxi stabs and there's like, okay, let's go. And then they start fighting. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay, we're doing this. And I expected, like, all right, I mean, like, as a DM, here's the thing. As a DM, you got to expect that they're going to fight at any given time. A fight's going to break out, so you just kind of have to roll with it. I'm like, all right, we're doing this now. So here's the problem, though. These guys were, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, so I just used the thug stat block, Instead, I should have just used bandits. I should have just used regular run-of-the-mill bandits, because thugs in D&D have a very fun little ability called pack tactics. If anybody knows what pack tactics is, pack tactics is an ability where if you are within, I think, 5 feet of an ally, you get advantage on attack rolls against any enemy, as long as you're near an ally. Now, they are all in this super tight ass, and I even drew it out on the map. It's like you are in a small ass room. There's 4 of the thugs all bunched together, and then the 2 of you. So each of them are going to get pack tactics every single round. All right? And even with the advantage, I mean, like, you'd assume at least a couple of times they wouldn't hit. But, like, I know they have advantage and shit, but, like, every single time I rolled for these bandits, hits. And they do 5 slashing, and I'm just taking the average. I'm not even rolling for their damage. 5 slashing each time. So, by the way, thugs also have multi-attack. I actually took that off. I did fudge it a little bit because I'm like, this is already going to be a tough fight. I'm going to take away multi-attack. And I wasn't going to, by the way, I'm not a dick. I'm not going to kill them off on the first session. I'm not doing that. I'm not that big of an asshole. Not even just because of the of the characters, but like, dude, you think about it. You're spending all week, several hours, thinking of a character, planning the character. Oh, he's going to have this accent. He's going to have this backstory. He's going to have all these cool traits. I can't wait to play this character. And he's dead session 1. Now, you could also argue it was the characters, like the character wanted to fight. They know the risk, but it's like, okay, I'm not going to kill you on the first session. It's not happening, okay? So even if, yeah, it's not going to happen. But actually, okay, the way it turned out worked out great. It actually worked out fucking phenomenal. I'm so surprised of the way this flowed. So, and it was mostly just because of the players' role-playing that it was able to flow as well as it did. Not really so much on my shit. It was more of just the way they interacted with the NPCs that made this work. So, I spend 10 minutes to make a character. Well, it's sometimes. Sometimes I've been in a rush to make a character. Sometimes I do sit down and I'm like, all right, this is going to be a brand new campaign starting at level 1. If I'm doing a one-shot, I'll just throw something together. But if it's, I'll just throw some troll thing together, like a troll. But if I'm doing like campaign, level 1, you know, it's like, all right, I want this character. If I'm going to be with this character for a while, I want him to have some stuff going on. You know what I mean? So... Who spends hours on a D&D character? I've definitely spent more than 1 hour, 2 hours spending on a D&D character. Absolutely. I finished the Christmas Bankai drawing. Awesome. Have you ever played Vox Machina? No, or ever watched it? No, I've never watched it, but I feel like I would be into it. I've watched Harmon Quest back when Dan Harmon did that. So anyway, back to this. So... the fight's not going too well. They manage, and the Tabaxi actually bought a gun earlier in that day, bought like a percussion pistol, and he shoots one of the thugs in the arm. So they're doing okay. They take down 2 of the thugs, but the thugs, like I said, they're getting advantage on every attack roll. They're hitting, they're stabbing these guys. And I even, at one point, the Tabaxi had befriended a turtle named Sven earlier that day. So I'm thinking, okay, you befriended a turtle or a turtle. So the turtle shows up. Sven, like, finds you, and he goes to help you. And then the turtle has an AC of, like, 17. He's getting hit. These thugs, even with it, I mean, with advantage, are rolling, like, 18s and 19s, like, every single fucking time. And it's, like, crazy. Can I get, like, a 6 and a 9? It's just like, no. Can I get a 6 and a 9, please? It's like 12 and 18, 7 and 20. It's just like shit, and none of them critted, thank God. But anyway, eventually they all get knocked down. The Drow gets down, Grigori is down, Boldfang is down, and Sven, the turtle NPC, is all down. So they do their death saves, and thankfully the Tabaxi kind of came close to dying with the death saves. He had 2 fails, but he got 3 successes, so they both didn't die from that. So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm sitting there, and it's like, okay, everything goes black. Everything just goes, y'all get blocked out. All right, you don't know what happens next. This fight happens at like 8 o'clock at night. You wake up at around 2 a.m. It's late, it's early in the morning. You are both buck-ass naked in a dumpster with like 1 HP. All right, everything you had is gone. Your outfit's gone. Your weapons are gone. Everything you had is gone. You are naked in a dumpster, wounded as shit. Sven, the turtle, is nowhere to be found. You're by yourselves. So, this is the thing, though, where when I did that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to have them die, but now they're in this situation. What are they going to do next? And it clicked. Earlier in the day, when they were meeting with Captain Cash, the captain, and they met some of his crew, the captain, actually, they were doing some role-playing, and they really, they charmed the captain. The captain was, like impressed by them. He was just like, he's like, the Drow and the Tabaxi. It's like, oh, you guys are outsiders here, you know, Captain Cash is your best friend. You know, you want to, he offered for them, just like, hey, do you have a place to stay tonight? And they were like, no, and they're like, oh, you can sleep on the deck of me ship, matey, and then in the morning we set sail for the island anyway. You might as well sleep on my ship. I'd be happy to have you, you know? So they had that going on. So I was like, okay, here they are wandering around town naked at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, the Drow had a pet with him, okay? He had a little pet in his satchel, and the pet was gone when he woke up. And so the player, you know, he looks at me and he's like, I've got to go back and get that pet. And I'm like, okay, I do. So you got to, absolutely. So they're wandering through town at night. The first mate of the crew, the captain got worried that they were gone. So he sends his first mate out to find him. And they met the first mate earlier too. And he's just like, oh my God, what the fuck happened to you guys? He's like, we got jumped by this gang. It's like, oh, okay, is it this gang? I called them the Shark Fins. I had to come up with on top of my fucking head, the Shark Fins. I'm like, okay. So now this is great. So the 2 players, the Tabaxi and the Drow, They go back to the pirate ship. They go back to, not a pirate ship, but they go back to the ship with the captain. The other players are all there now on the decks of the ship because they were staying there too. They go back to the ship. And now it's like, oh man, this is going to be fun. They're going to get the pirate captain. He's not a pirate captain, but he's a pirate captain. He talks like a pirate captain, but he's not really a pirate. He's like, all right, mateys, we're going to get, my best crew together and we're going to bust some heads. So now you have this fucking walk to Arlong Park scene with the captain, his first mate, 3 of his pirates, plus 4 of the 5 PCs. Like, let's go bust up this gang and get our shit back. So I'm like, this was fucking awesome. And it just flowed so well. It just worked so damn well. Shark fins sounds pretty cool. I stumbled over the name a few times. I couldn't think of the name the first time, and I was like, the shark fins. And the name of the gang was Finn. Yeah, the shark fins, because, yeah. All right. So we have this moment now where they're all walking to the hideout. One of the PCs, the Dampier, actually, she decided to stay on the ship. And I'm like, I look to the player, and I'm like, her name's Kennedy, and I'm like, Kennedy, are you sure? Are you sure you're just okay with not being part of this fight? Because they're gonna fight. They're gonna get stuff. And it's just like, she's like, no, I'm not going with them. Those guys got the shit beat out of them. I'm not gonna go fight. That's not what my character would do. And I'm like, all right, cool. So the Dampier just stays on the boat, and she just sits this one out. So we just go back to the hideout, and it's just like a small time gang that just like has a little, like, there's like 7 or 8 of them. There's not very many of them in the hideout. So they go in, but this was beautiful. They go to the door. There's a little peek hole in the door. They manage to wedge the peek hole open, and then the druid casts Entangle and on the room, and the room is like, we mapped it out, and it's like Entangle covers all of them. They're like, some of them are sitting at a table and they're eating dinner, and then some are in the back, like the one that got his arm shot is like bandaging his arm. So he casts Entangle, and we mapped it out, and it's like this hits all of them. Okay, and we rolled, and every single, well, I rolled for all of the thugs in one roll, and then the captain kind of had his own roll. The bandit captain had the gang leader. He had another one. But they both failed. So they get entangled, and they get restrained. And so then they burst open the door, and they just start massacring this gang. The captain jumps up and strikes the leader, and then eventually the drow just stabs the leader to death in his chair. And then they kill a few other gang members. There's a few that are left. And they get all their shit back. Sven is there, the turtle. He's beat to shit, but they fix him up. They get the pet back in a cage. There's a pile of clothes. They get their clothes back. They get their gold back. They get their weapons back. They get all that shit back. They kill the gang leader. The rest of the gang just get up and leave. They're like, screw this. We're done. We'll turn ourselves in. We don't want to die. And then they leave. So they open the door to the back room. It's like, okay, well, we got all our stuff back, but now what about the magic items that they had? And I'm like, well, shit, yeah. You killed the gang, so you get the magic items. So they get the magic items in the next room. And there's also this big metal chest. And the big metal chest, one of the gang members was like, the chest is in there. It's filled with gold, but it's booby-trapped with dynamite. It'll blow up unless you disarm it. And they're like, how to disarm it? And I'm like, I don't know. You killed the demolition expert. You killed the expert that knows how to do it. And you killed the gang leader. I'm just a guy. I don't know how to disarm it. So they're like, shit. So now they have this big-ass metal chest that's rigged to explode with dynamite when they open it. And they took some magic items. And that's where we ended off. That's where the first session ended. But I was just so fucking surprised of how well all of that flowed. It went so well. They role-played this phenomenally. Everybody at the table was involved. Getting involved with the NPCs, and then just like, hey, we got to do this. And then it's just like, then I had the idea with like, oh wait, the pirates can help you. Like the pirates versus a street gang. It's just like, shit, let's do this. So it was a blast. So hopefully the next session, which I'm working on now with this stuff back here, will be fun. Yeah, that actually was very flowy. Yeah, I was surprised of how well that went. So anyway, sorry for going on and on about my, as soon as I finished that story, 300 people left. Oh, and now we're back. Okay, it went from 878 to like 530, and then back to 878. That was actually very flowy. I'm glad. Thank you. Yeah. Keep us updated with the campaign. Yeah, I will. I will keep you updated with the campaign. I don't know because I film everything in my life, I don't know if they would be okay with me filming a session. I'd have to obviously get their permission to do that. Maybe not even film a session, but like record a session, maybe like audio. And maybe I could put it up somewhere on the side channel or something. But I'd obviously have to get everybody's permission for that. But I would like to do that because that does sound like fun. So I'd have to let them know, though. And it's another question with, it's like if they're comfortable with me like uploading it online. So that's another thing too. If they're not comfortable with it, I'm obviously not going to do that. Do you have more D&D stories? I do, but I think I'm going to end it here because it's getting kind of, it's been about 2 hours now, and I had my jaw open for an hour today. By the way, in case you're curious, having your jaw open like this for an hour solid tends to cramp up a bit. Not very good. Not very fun. But yeah, let's go through some super chats because I went on this big monologue about my campaign. But it's fun because this is like, it's funny that I've gotten into a point in my life now where I've been doing YouTube for so long that whenever something happens in my life, I feel like I need to like catalog this in video form because that's just what I do. So I'm glad. Thank you for listening to my long diatribe there. Sorry if it was boring. Quick question. Ever watch Ruby or Camp? No. Have you ever watched Vox Machina? No. I saw that. It looked really cool. I've just never seen it. How do you think Big Mom would have done at Marineford instead of Whitebeard? Ooh, that's a good one. How would the different Yonko deal with the Marines? Big Mom's a lot more bloodthirsty and cutthroat, so I feel like she might have maybe done a little bit better than Whitebeard did. Also, she wasn't horribly ill like Whitebeard was. Morge is late for his stream, so I thought I'd say hi. Hi, big bro Cook. Will your toast videos ever make a comeback? I've thrown that out there so many times to make a Makin' Toast sequel, but nothing in development as of yet. Hope your night's going well. I got midterms next week. Wish me luck. It would make me really happy if you did your best Moria, Dofi, and Kaido laugh. Okay, so good luck on your midterms. Hope you do well. Moria laugh would be Kishi shi 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 Kishi shi shi. Dofi, I actually don't know what is Dofi's laugh. I don't know. Dofi just that's, and then Kaido is just whoa. There you go. It's crazy to me that I've been watching you since middle school. Now I'm a sophomore in college. Keep up the good work. Thank you. You've been my weed smoking buddy for the last 3 years. Thanks for the fun times. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy. You just pull up an old Tekking101 video and then you just light it up. There you go. What were you doing with your jaw open? I was getting 3 cavities filled. You probably weren't here for the beginning of the stream. Have you tried reading the Music of Mary manga? It's eerily similar to One Piece. Haven't seen it yet. No. I want a Barry D brick for my desk. Well, I do sell. No, there's none available right now, but I did sell plushies for a little while. How sentient are the new Seraphim in your opinion? S. Boa seems rather human. They definitely have the capabilities to act human, but I think they have the ability to have their personalities suppressed by the machinery inside of their heads. Like Vegapunk obviously did something with their brains where they can like control their emotions and turn them on and off and kind of things. I was actually getting my 2 cavities done when I saw you send that tweet. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, very funny. Hilarious. Just watched the 1,000-Year Blood War dub. Do you think a Kenpachi never challenged Yamamoto for the thrill of battle, and how would it go if they did? Yeah, that is interesting. Like, did Unohana ever challenge Yamamoto? But I feel like it's more of like, I don't know. I feel like their battle is more of just sword on sword, like Zanjutsu, not necessarily using like fire or Aikido or anything like that. So, or maybe Unohana would have just realized I cannot stand up to the head captain's Bankai. It's just another world, you know. Can you do a Record of Ragnarok video for season 2? I might. I don't know. I might though. Can you explain why studios release an entire season as feature films? Because money. Get more money. I watched, so my uncle has been watching Demon Slayer. I haven't really watched Demon Slayer, but he was down here and we were watching the Mugen Train arc in the anime. So I watched the Mugen Train arc. I have no idea what was really going on, but I was watching it. And there was also the movie Mugen Train, which I think is the highest grossing movie in all of Japan right now. But I really enjoyed it. I like the Mugen Train arc. I thought it was pretty neat. I am so mad they cut it off after only 2 fights. I wish they did the Buddha fight. It's one of my favorites. Well, they're going to do it. It's going to be later this year. Part 2 is going to come out later this year. It's not like you don't have to wait another 3 years for the Buddha fight. The Buddha fight will be this year. You just maybe like another month or 2 or something. They got to build tension. And then Season 3 will probably be Qin Shi Huang versus Hades, and then Tesla versus Beelzebub, and then whatever the 8th fight will be. Don't know yet. We're not up to that point in the manga yet. Did you play the remastered Persona 3? I already answered that one. I think these are the ones I already answered. Yeah, I already answered these ones. All right, well, I think that was a pretty good stream. Thanks to everybody for coming down. It was a lot of fun. Answered some chats, talked about boobs, and went through my D&D shit, which was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And tomorrow I'm going to try to do this Gorosei video, provided my mouth is not in an insane amount of pain, but that's what drugs are for. That's what pills and are for. I take like aspirin and ibuprofen. Calm down. They didn't give me like Vicodin or anything. Calm down. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This will be Tekking101 signing out. You guys have a great night. Wait, read my super chat question. I thought I read all of them. What was your Matthew Kelly? Well, what did you send me? Do you think 4 Elder Stars named after the planets? Well, 5 Elder Stars. But yeah, I think all of them will be named after the planets, considering we have Saturn, so I don't think Oda's going to change the name scheme. Like, this is Saint Michael, and this is Saint Saturn. I think they're all going to be named after planets. But yeah, there's that. All right, you guys have a good night. Later. I'll keep you updated on the D&D thing. Yeah, I'll let you know on that. See ya.